Hi lovely rubies, I hope you're all well today. Happy New Year. I know we're a few weeks into the year, but this is my first podcast episode of the year. So whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, welcome and thanks for joining me today. So firstly, I hope you don't mind, I'm in like my cozy, I don't know what they're called, these things. It's like this cozy blanket jumper thing. It's very cold here in England at the moment. And it's red, so I felt like it was on brand, so it's okay. And I've got a hot water bottle and a blanket just because it is very, very cold. So today I'm excited to chat to you a bit, just kind of my thoughts about getting back on track. I'm trying to kind of think of what to title this episode. But I think kind of getting back on track is a good name for it. So the reason I wanted to chat about this today is because this is kind of a very relevant topic for me at the moment, and I feel like it's something it's kind of quite fresh in my mind, so I've got some things to ramble on about it. So basically, I had like the worst flu of my life, basically starting from like the end of Christmas Day kind of on, and it was just like a week of just awful flu, and then it took another week or two to even just kind of feel like myself again. I just felt very low, very anxious, very kind of in my head, and quite negative. And it was really like it wasn't a nice feeling. I mean, it's never nice when you don't feel good. But because I'd been working, and I have been working so hard to kind of make like a positive mindset kind of just like part of kind of my daily routine, like, you know, like you kind of make exercise part of your routine, or eating healthy or whatever. Like for me, kind of feeding my mind with like inspiration and like positivity, and like working on having like a better mindset was something that's been really key for me. So it really wasn't nice to kind of go back to this place where I felt I was before, kind of working on that and just feeling really quite negative. So yeah, so I thought I could chat a little bit about this anyway. So whether or not you've been poorly, I know there's a lot of people that have had like an awful cold or flu like me. Just in general, just some tips, you know, that may come in handy, because life is full of ups and downs and things like that. And also kind of being a new year, I feel like kind of the very beginning of the year, like you're kind of quite excited about your goals and the things you're going to achieve, and then kind of as life can get busy and there's things going on, it can be quite discouraging, and sometimes it can feel like you're kind of going off track. I keep feeling this ringing. It's like I've got my guitars behind me. It sounds like my voice is like echoing off them. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Hopefully you can't hear that. And once again, sorry about the squeaky chair. So yeah, I hope whether or not you feel like right now you're off track or you're on track and you're feeling good, or whatever the case may be, I'm hoping you'll find some of the things I have to say about this helpful, and just some thoughts about it. Okay, so when I'd got over my flu and I was kind of feeling quite anxious and low and stuff, I was thinking, right, like I want to get back on track. And the first thing I needed to kind of assess was like, well, what does that mean? What do I mean when I'm saying back on track? I really feel like there's power in clarity, and so you're not kind of like just wandering aimlessly trying to kind of figure out kind of the best use of your time and what to do. If you can kind of get clear on like what that means for you, whether that's like a goal or a habit or a system that you're like, right, I kind of want to get back to that, get clear on what actually that is. Where are you now and where you want to be? So for me, I really realised that some of the things that I kind of wanted to get back on track was going to the gym, and also feeding my mind daily with some sort of positivity and inspiration. And to be honest with you, it really made me grateful for these habits or routines that I'd kind of been building up because like before I was poorly, because I think kind of on like a day-to-day basis you kind of take small steps towards things and you can't always appreciate how much of an impact things have. So I kind of just adjusted to, you know, going to the gym 3 times a week. I was listening to positive stuff every day, and it wasn't until I'd kind of, that wasn't in my routine anymore, I really appreciated how much of an impact it was having for the positive, for the better, you know. So yeah, so basically, yeah, just get clear on what getting back on track means for you. So the next thing that I found helpful is basically making it as easy as possible for yourself, but also if you're not in a very good place and you're feeling anxious, I think things can feel even more overwhelming. So things that necessarily wouldn't feel overwhelming to me on like a normal day, when I was kind of in this place where I just felt really rubbish, like even kind of small things could feel quite overwhelming and out of my comfort zone. Yeah, so it was amazing to me that I'd only actually kind of been inside for a few weeks and kind of been sort of like bedbound, you know, for like a week, how quickly like it kind of like eroded up my confidence and just made me feel really anxious. So yeah, I think small steps is really important. So I didn't put too much pressure on myself, you know, to kind of to achieve as such. Like I think we can all be very, like, we can all be guilty of this, is putting too much pressure on ourselves and like feeling that things have to be perfect. But at the end of the day, like, your health is the most important thing, and like your mental well-being, your physical health. And when I wasn't well, like everything that I felt like I should be doing just went away, and it was all just about feeling better. And it really actually made me appreciate the things that are important, you know, our mental and physical well-being, like our family and friends and all of that. And of course, like our goals and wanting to be the best version of ourselves are important as well. But like when it came down to it and I wasn't very well, like that was, you know, health is number one. Health is number one at the end of the day. So I think really prioritize that and just give yourself permission to take it slow and ease your way back into things, because otherwise I think it can be overwhelming and it just puts you off even getting started. So initially I kind of was like, right, well, even kind of going to sit downstairs and have a cup of tea was like a great thing. Then the next day it was like, okay, I'm gonna sit downstairs and have a shower. And I just slowly built it up. And then when I started kind of going out and like doing things, I kind of was like, right, I'm gonna do one thing a day, and that's kind of gonna be it. And I just kind of slowly built it up. Then I kind of introduced the gym back in, and I was like, oh, this feels great. Like, I've really missed this. And I really feel like having those kind of the stepping stones really helped, and it helped take the pressure off. Because even though I felt kind of guilty and I felt behind, I recognised it was important. Part of the journey, it's important to rest. And important to be sustainable as well, because if I was trying to do too much at once, I mean, there was one day where I did try and do too much at once, and the next day it totally wiped me out. Like, all the next day I was in bed again. So then I was like, right, no, I really need to take it like easy, you know, and take it at a pace that's gonna work for me, you know. Okay, so I kind of touched on it a little bit, but like the next thing is like identifying the things that make you feel great. Like the things that are going to make you feel like your best you, and are going to make the biggest impact to your mental and physical well-being. So, because I mentioned it in a couple of videos and things, but for me, I kind of go back to my 4 pillars of strength, which I won't go into too much because I've spoken about it a few different times. But basically for me, that is sleep, diet and nutrition, exercise, and mindset. So for me, the things that I know made me feel really great was going to the gym and feeding my mind daily with positivity and inspiration. And that first day I went back to the gym and I listened to this positive audiobook, I just felt like me again. And I just felt like almost like reborn, sort of, as dramatic as that sounds. Like I just felt really great. And yeah, and it kind of, it put me in that different mindset. So I was more positive, and I felt like I was capable of achieving the things I wanted to achieve. And actually, yes, I can get back on track. And, you know, it's fine that I kind of felt, quote unquote, a bit behind. Like it just changed my day for me. So what are the things for you that make you feel really great, that put you in that positive mindset and just make you feel like you can achieve anything? So yeah. Okay, so next I've written down, give yourself permission to make mistakes and fail. Mistakes are really important in like our growth, and learning things, and you actually learn more from the mistakes than you do from the successes. And I think a really key thing for me actually is I've started viewing kind of like mistakes and kind of, I don't know, quote unquote failures, as kind of part of the journey. So instead of kind of getting too hung up on things that haven't gone well, I've kind of gone, okay, well, it's part of the journey, and it's all things that I'm learning. And I try and focus on what I can learn from different things. And then I kind of think, you know, one day I'm going to have a fantastic story to tell people, and I'm going to be able to help lots of people through my mistakes and failures, and what it's taught me. Because you don't grow without mistakes. You kind of have to dare to try and kind of get out of your comfort zone. And yeah, it's just part of the journey. So, and the thing is as well, kind of going back to what we were talking about before, like there are so many days where I plan things to do and what I want to achieve, and I don't achieve it. And sometimes it's just a few things I maybe don't achieve, and some days I don't achieve any of the things I set out to achieve. And I think it's kind of being okay with that. Like, we're human, we're trying our best, you're an awesome person, and life can get busy. So just give yourself permission that things aren't always going to go according to plan, you know? And then again, this kind of ties into my last point, is about rest. Yeah, I feel like it's as equally as important to know when to rest as when to work, because I kind of view, like, I sometimes view myself as like a kind of rechargeable battery, where kind of if the power goes too low, I feel like drained and wiped out. And rest is really important for me in kind of keeping that battery topped up, and feeling my best self. So I feel like I'm a lot more in tune nowadays to when I can like feel I need a rest, and actually like properly rest. Like, because I used to, and I still can be guilty of it, but I used to kind of have these like half-assed rests where it'd be like, I'm sort of like resting, but I'm also sort of doing work. Whereas I feel like now I'm like, if I need to rest, actually rest, like chill out, read a book, watch some videos or something, focus on self-care, paint my nails or something. So then I feel recharged for when I come back to my work. Yeah, and the thing is with proper rest, you're going to come back even more productive and like stronger. So it's really important, and that kind of ties in as well to what I was saying about my 4 pillars of strength. I'll make sure to pay particular attention to making sure that I'm kind of getting my sleep right, and having like an early night, and I'll do my meditation, I'll do some journaling. So yeah, that's kind of all my thoughts are kind of about getting back on track. I'd love to know what you think. I mean, definitely what I've said is not the be and end all. There's so much to this topic. I feel like so many of the kind of the things I've been talking about in the Believe podcast, like there are so many things you can say, so many different experiences, that they could kind of warrant like a second podcast episode. But this is just some thoughts I kind of had at the moment that I want to share with you. I'd kind of like to do some more podcast episodes as well, a bit more about kind of the creative side as well, because I want this podcast to be about like mindset and things like that, but I also want to have some bits about kind of tips for creativity and musicians and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So I think I might film some episodes about that, so get used to this lovely red jumper blanket thing. which I'll be probably wearing in the next couple of podcast episodes. I hope you guys are having a lovely week so far. Thank you for all your support of me. Again, you can follow me online. I am at hannahrubymusic on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then I've also got Ruby Music Academy, which is a space to help musicians and creative entrepreneurs with their mindset and their skills. You can follow that online at Ruby Music Academy. So that's it from me today, lovely Rubies. I shall see you soon. Take care and see you later. Bye.